Drill Sergeant Zix-9 frantically checked his chronometer for the 7th time in 30 seconds, his 3 eyes bulging from their stalks as he stared at the impossible readings. The massive Krillion's exoskeleton clicked nervously as he turned to his colleague, Sergeant Vash, whose tentacles were writhing in barely contained panic. "This cannot be accurate," Zix-9 hissed through his translator unit, his mandibles chattering. "The human entered the survival crucible exactly 63 minutes ago. The course is designed to take a full standard week." Vash's bioluminescent patches flickered in distress patterns as she consulted her own readings. "The sensors confirm it, Zix. Human cadet Sarah Chen has just triggered the final checkpoint beacon. She's completed the entire Deathworld preparation course." Both drill sergeants stared at the massive holographic display, showing the sprawling training facility that stretched across 3 continents of the moon Kira 7. The course was legendary throughout the Galactic Military Academy, a brutal 7-day gauntlet designed to break even the toughest alien cadets and forge them into elite soldiers capable of surviving on the galaxy's most hostile worlds. No cadet had ever completed it in less than 6 days. Most took the full week, and nearly 30% didn't complete it at all. "Run diagnostics on all systems," Zix-9 barked to the monitoring staff. There must be a malfunction. The Vorthon technician's crystalline structure chimed as data flowed through his consciousness. "All systems nominal, Sergeant. No malfunctions detected. The human appears to have legitimately completed every challenge." On the central screen, Sarah Chen's vital signs showed she was not only alive, but remarkably stable. Her heart rate was elevated, but within normal human parameters. Her hydration levels were adequate, and her core temperature remained steady, despite the extreme environmental variations she had endured. "Show me the replay data," Vash demanded, her voice carrying the harmonic undertones that indicated severe stress in her species. The holographic display shifted, showing Sarah's journey through the course at accelerated speed. The drill sergeants watched in growing amazement and horror as the young human systematically demolished every obstacle designed to challenge her. The acid rainforest, where most cadets spent 2 full days learning to construct adequate shelter while avoiding the carnivorous plants, had taken Sarah exactly 47 minutes. She had simply grabbed a fallen metal beam from a previous cadet's failed attempt, used it to knock down several trees, and built a crude but effective lean-to. Then, instead of cautiously navigating around the predatory flora, she had fashioned a torch and simply burned her way through the entire section. She just burned down half the forest," Zix-9 whispered, his voice crackling with disbelief. "The gravity well caverns, a maze of tunnels with constantly shifting gravitational fields that typically required 3 days of careful navigation, had been conquered through what could only be described as controlled falling." Sarah had studied the pattern for 20 minutes, then launched herself into the shifting gravity fields like a human projectile, using the momentum changes to slingshot herself through the entire complex in under 2 hours. "Look at this," Vash pointed with a trembling tentacle. "The thermal desert section." The replay showed Sarah encountering the blistering heat that had hospitalized dozens of cadets over the years. Instead of following protocol and waiting for the cooler evening hours to travel, she had stripped to minimal clothing, wrapped her head in fabric torn from her uniform, and simply jogged across the entire desert in broad daylight. Her human physiology's remarkable cooling system had allowed her to maintain pace, even as temperatures soared beyond what most species could survive. But it was the final challenge that truly broke the drill sergeant's understanding of what was possible. The Predator Gauntlet featured genetically modified versions of some of the galaxy's most dangerous creatures, each one capable of killing an unprotected sentient being within seconds. Sarah had approached the first creature, a massive Thaxian render with claws that could slice through titanium, as weapons exploiting each creature's specific vulnerabilities with an intuitive understanding that should have taken years of study to develop. She moved through the gauntlet like a force of nature, leaving confused and often injured predators in her wake. By the 7 moons of Arcturus, Zix-9 breathed. She weaponized everything: the rocks, the terrain, even the predators themselves. When the Voidstalker cornered her, she actually made it attack the plasma eel instead. The final footage showed Sarah emerging from the course exit, slightly dirty and breathing hard, but otherwise appearing as if she had just completed a vigorous workout rather than survived a week-long ordeal designed to push alien soldiers to their absolute limits. An alarm chimed, indicating an incoming priority message from Academy Command. Admiral Thex's image materialized above the console, his reptilian features stern with concern. "Sergeants, we've been monitoring the situation. Is the human cadet injured or in need of medical assistance?" "No, sir," Vash replied weakly. "She appears to be fine." "And the course integrity?" "Also intact, sir. She just completed it faster than should be physically possible." Admiral Thex was quiet for a long moment, his forked tongue flicking out thoughtfully. "Sergeants, I want you to review Sarah Chen's file immediately. Cross-reference it with the Terran Deathworld classification report." Zix-9's claws clicked rapidly across his console as he pulled up the files. His eyes widened as he read the data aloud. "Terra. Classification Level 12 Deathworld. Gravity 1.2 Standard. Atmospheric composition includes reactive oxygen. Surface temperature variance exceeds 100 degrees standard. Tectonic instability. Frequent electromagnetic storms. Populated by approximately 8.7 million predatory species, including..." His voice trailed off as he reached the final entry. "Including the dominant species, Homo sapiens." The 3 officers stared at each other in dawning comprehension. "She's not a cadet being trained to survive on Deathworlds," Vash whispered. "She's a Deathworlder learning to survive in civilization." Admiral Thex nodded grimly. "Sergeants, I think we need to completely redesign our training protocols. And perhaps upgrade our insurance policies." As if summoned by their conversation, Sarah Chen appeared at the command center entrance, jogging lightly and barely winded. She snapped to attention with crisp, military precision. "Cadet Chen reporting completion of Survival Crucible, sir. Ready for next assignment." The drill sergeants looked at each other, then at the smiling